Right now, your car's paint is under attack, and the product you trust to stop it stopped working weeks ago. Here is the part nobody in the automotive care industry ever profited from telling you: the wax sitting in your garage was never actually bonding to your paint. Not once. It was resting on top of the clear coat through weak molecular attractions that any car wash soap, UV ray, or acid raindrop breaks instantly. You were not protecting your paint. You were temporarily decorating a surface that was continuously being damaged underneath. Japanese chemical researchers cracked a completely different solution decades ago, and today you are getting the full story. Carnauba wax comes from a Brazilian palm tree and has been rubbed onto automotive paint for over a century. It works through what chemists call van der Waals forces, weak, temporary intermolecular attractions with zero chemical bonding involved. The wax is not fusing to your clear coat. It is resting on it the same way dust rests on a shelf. The moment alkaline car wash soap, UV radiation, road heat, or bird acid arrives, those weak attractions break and the wax lifts away. Most carnauba products last 6 to 8 weeks in real conditions. Premium synthetic sealants push that to 6 months at best. Then you start over. That cycle is not a maintenance routine. It is the product's permanent chemical sealing, and no reformulation will ever raise it, because the limitation is in the fundamental nature of what wax is, not how it is made. Japanese chemical labs in the early 1990s were not trying to make better wax. They were asking a completely different question. What if the protective compound chemically reacted with the paint surface instead of just sitting on top of it? The answer was silicon dioxide, SiO₂, the same base compound as glass, suspended in an organosilane carrier and engineered to undergo a condensation reaction on contact with automotive clear coat. When this compound meets the hydroxyl groups naturally present on the clear coat surface, covalent bonds form. True chemical bonds involving shared electron pairs between atoms. The coating does not sit on your paint. It becomes molecularly integrated with the outermost layer of the clear coat. To remove it, you would need to damage the paint itself, because the protection and the paint surface are now chemically the same thing. This is why alkaline car wash soap has no effect on a properly cured glass coating. The surfactant chemistry that strips wax by breaking van der Waals attractions has no mechanism to break covalent bonds. This is also why UV radiation does not degrade glass coating the way it destroys organic wax compounds. The silica network formed during curing is inherently UV stable at a level that carnauba chemistry cannot approach. Standard automotive clear coat measures between 2H and 3H on the pencil hardness scale. A high-quality SiO₂ glass coating adds a layer above the clear coat measuring up to 9H on that same scale. A standard steel file rates around 5H. A 9H coating is approaching sapphire hardness. The outermost surface of a glass-coated vehicle is harder than the clear coat it protects, harder than the tools that would scratch it under normal driving conditions, and chemically resistant to the contaminants that wax simply cannot hold off. Now here is the part that will permanently change how you look at a freshly waxed car. The detailing industry sold water beading as visual proof of protection for decades. Round droplets sitting high on the surface, rolling dramatically on a tilted hood. That image is on every wax product ever sold. Japanese researchers identified it as a damage mechanism. Each water droplet sitting on paint in direct sunlight functions as a miniature lens, concentrating UV radiation and heat onto a single point of the clear coat directly beneath it. Multiply that across thousands of droplets during every rain and sun cycle your car experiences. Beyond the optical damage, those droplets evaporate and leave behind hard water minerals and acid rain compounds that etch into the clear coat surface. The beading your wax created was holding contamination against your paint long enough to cause the damage the wax claimed to prevent. Shop proven, tested across years of professional detailing work, and completely invisible to anyone who never questioned what beading actually meant physically. Glass coating creates a low surface energy environment where water forms large flat sheets instead of tight droplets and flows off the surface rapidly rather than sitting. At normal driving speeds, water does not remain on a coated panel long enough to deposit minerals. Contaminants like bird droppings, tree sap, and road film sit on the coating surface rather than bonding to the clear coat beneath. Wash time on a properly coated vehicle drops from 45 minutes to under 20 because contamination releases with dramatically less mechanical effort. meaning less micro, scratching per wash cycle across the entire life of the vehicle. Mechanics and professional detailers who work with coated vehicles consistently report this efficiency difference as one of the most tangible real-world benefits of the technology. Here is the warning most people skip and then regret. Glass coating is completely unforgiving of the surface beneath it. Wax hides this reality because wax fills imperfections temporarily and produces an acceptable result even over contaminated, swirl-marked paint. Glass coating bonds to whatever surface exists at application and seals it permanently. Swirl marks present when the coating goes on are locked under the coating when it cures. Iron particles embedded in the clear coat from years of brake dust are sealed in and continue promoting oxidation from below. Any polishing compound oil residue left on the panel before application prevents the organosilane from bonding to the clear coat at all, producing a coating that sits over an oil film instead of chemically integrating with the paint. The difference between a proper isopropyl alcohol wipe before application and skipping it is the difference between 5 years of performance and a 6-month disappointment. That one step costs nothing and takes minutes. Never skip it. Professional Japanese detailers spend 8 to 12 hours on preparation before the coating is opened. Iron fallout remover is applied across every panel, reacting with and dissolving embedded brake dust and rail dust that washing cannot touch. The panel turns purple, red as iron particles are chemically freed from inside the clear coat. Clay bar treatment follows, physically removing any bonded surface contamination the chemical step didn't fully address. A properly decontaminated panel feels completely frictionless under a bare fingertip. That tactile check is the benchmark used to confirm readiness. Paint correction with a machine polisher removes the thin layer of clear coat where swirl marks and scratches exist, leveling the surface to a single clean reflection angle. Clear coat on modern vehicles is 90 to 140 microns thick. Correction stops at 60 microns. Below that, the risk to long-term paint integrity is not acceptable. Then the isopropyl wipe, then application. The coating goes on panel by panel in thin passes and must be leveled within a precise timing window before the silica begins cross-linking. Work too slowly and you get high spots, irregularly hardened patches that are extremely difficult to remove once curing has progressed. High humidity hazes the surface. High temperature collapses the working window. Initial cure requires 12 to 24 hours. Full cure where the silica cross-linking reaches maximum hardness takes 7 to 14 days. Water contact, physical pressure, or any chemical product applied during that window interrupts bond formation permanently, reducing final hardness and longevity in ways that cannot be corrected afterward. When the process is done correctly, the result is unlike anything wax produces at any price. Paint develops a 3-dimensional liquid depth that shifts with viewing angle. Black becomes wet obsidian. White takes on a pearl brilliance. Silver develops a chrome-like fluidity. Water sheets off at parking lot speeds without beading. That performance lasts 2 to 5 years in real conditions, not 6 weeks, not 6 months, years. That is covalent bonds versus van der Waals forces. That is a surface chemically modified at the nanometer level versus a layer of plant wax resting temporarily on top of it. That is what Japanese chemical engineers were building while the rest of the world was still polishing with century-old chemistry. If this changed how you see the bottle in your garage, hit like right now and share this with every driver you know who is still waxing on faith. Subscribe so you never miss content like this, and drop a comment telling us what country you are watching from and which car care topic you want covered next. We read every single one.